record it. Okay, so now I just told you I'm recording it. So I'm not hiding anything from anybody. Sharing my screen. And I'm going to hide the video cameras. There we go.
Hey,
All
funny
right.
story.
Yes.
I lied. I was looking at the picture you put in for the event, but I'm not seeing us live on David's yet.
Okay, well, I'm seeing it on the back end. It says live, it says learning, and I'm looking at Facebook right now.
Yep, me too. But we can go ahead.
So it says it's connecting live video.
Oh, now it is. Now I can watch
Okay.
the live video. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But we can go.
Okay, it's the delay. There's a delay between Zoom and Facebook, so we're gonna just roll with it.
And away we roll.
All right. So this is Learning Lunchables. It's a weekly 30-minute midday break. Depending on where you are when you're watching this, you're either having some lunch, trying to scarf down a taco, or maybe you're on the West Coast, so this is like a coffee break for you, and you're grabbing a hot beverage. And you're going to want a hot beverage today because we're going to be spilling a little bit of tea. What we're going to be talking about today is you are what you eat, understanding Google Eat. And I really think that you should look at this presentation as a way of rethinking website content and transparency. There's a couple of goals that I created when I thought about these learning Lunchables, and I didn't want to do them just because it's a marketing. If you're in marketing and you're trying to promote yourself, you're supposed to go on Facebook Live. And I didn't want to do that just to check off the box. I really wanted to make this as useful for everybody as possible. And that's the main reason why I'm doing this on Zoom, is so that I can present a presentation to you guys that you can actually come to our website and download as a PDF, and that's not gated. You don't have to give us your information to get this, so that you can look at this later. And also, I wanted to help businesses, small business owners, and especially local business owners understand the importance of being online and the right way to do it. There are ways that you can do this without spending a fortune. You just have to understand the basics. So I want to do that, and I want to help you rethink the way that you're doing business. And I also want you to find strategies and tips that are going to help you survive not only this third year, second, third year, fifth year, whatever. It seems like since Corona started, time has just kind of stopped of what we're doing. I mean, we're hearing that this is the end of it, but there's going to be repercussions in a lot of different ways. So help you understand that and future-proof your business. So what we're going to be talking about today is what Google Eat is and what it isn't. There's a lot of misconceptions out there, and unfortunately, some of them have been accidentally promoted by some gurus out there that weren't really specific when they were giving information. So I want to let you know exactly what Google Eat is and isn't, and why you should still care about it. How you can use Eat on your website, how you can future-proof your business with Eat, some online Eat strategies, and what we're going to be talking about next week. So this is an ongoing series, and today's expectations is how Google uses Eat so that you can create a more effective website, improve your brand reputation, and increase your online digital presence, which is the main goal of this series that we're doing, and what strategies you can take online to build expertise, authority, and trustworthiness to help future-proof your business. So way back when Google Eat first came out, and it was further back than people understand, but when people started hearing about Eat and what to do with it, they really thought it was a part of Google SEO, which is search engine optimization. And they thought that they could do with it like they do with a lot of SEO, which is trick the algorithm. What can I do to make the algorithm think that I'm meeting Google guidelines and I can rank higher? So Google uses more than just bots to improve search result quality. Humans also look at search results and websites for quality assurance. In order to make a true impact on search engines, you need to consider how you are serving your website viewers, because this isn't just about tricking a spider. This is about people understanding it, and Google analysts and your website viewers. So this is part of an ongoing presentation that I'm going to be doing here for the next several weeks that is evolved around building an online presence. Last week, we talked about a website that is customer centric. And when you're talking about EAT, you're kind of talking about a mash of different things, because EAT touches many different areas. It does revolve around your website. It does, in a way, deal with search engine optimization. It does, in a way, deal with online directories, and it does deal in a way with your Google business profile, and also just kind of your overall reputation online and offline all impact EAT. So the reason why I'm talking about digital presence and why it's important to you is because it is an important aspect of the 5 strategies for survival that I talked about with the very first Facebook Live that I did. And those 5 strategies are finding new ways to deliver offerings, increasing online sales, managing customer expectations, improving marketing results, and investing in new technology. When you focus on those 5 key areas of your small business, what will happen is that will help you overcome these business challenges that most small businesses are saying that they've faced in 21 and are going to continue to face in 2022. And that's coming from a small business report, Small Business Trends and Forecasts, that was done last quarter of 2021. So Google Eat, online digital presence, both impact those 5 strategies. So that's why I'm covering all of this and will be continuing to cover all this. And you can come into these Lunchables anytime you want. You can skip them and only watch the ones that you think that are relevant to you. But I do just want to let you know that they do have a common thread in them. So if you do come onto one of these and are a little confused about things, and maybe you think you might be missing a step, if you go to tryourmarketing.com and you go to our resources page, you will be able to see a way to access all of the learning Lunchables. You can download the PDFs after I've presented them. And also there is at the bottom of the homepage of the website now a calendar, which shows you the most recent, like the most current learning Lunchable that's coming up, and the one that's going to be coming up after that. So every Friday I refresh that. So you'll see what next week's is, and then the week after that. So just so that you know, you can go there anytime, and also you can visit our Facebook page and see that information. So I got all the introduction stuff out of the way. What Google Eat stands for is expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So EAT isn't a ranking thing, a rating factor or a ranking factor. All right. It helps reviewers understand what to look for when they are looking at search results to make sure that the information being presented in search results is quality. And it's supposed to be a match at what a human assessment would be. So what does all that mean? Basically, what that means is if you fail EAT standards, that's not going to hurt where you stand in Google search. So it's not going to knock you from, ranking your ranking 5th on the first page of Google. It's not going to knock you to the 2nd page. It's not really going to say, oh, we're going to give you a bad overall rating for your website. What that means is that when the human reviewers look at the search results for when you type in a specific search. So say if you're looking for best golf clubs for left-handed people and you see the search results, well, there are actually humans that also look at those search results, and they want to make sure that what Google is presenting everybody is really informative and fits the parameters. So you're not going to be seeing a search result for cats, a cat video because a cat's got a hold of a golf ball just because you typed in golf clubs. So they're trying to make sure that the information that's provided by Google is accurate, but they also want to make sure that the websites that are being shown on the first page of Google and further on down the line are actually going to help the people that are looking for stuff. So that's where EAT comes into play. Now, what I think about EAT is different. Okay. EAT to me is very, very, very important because you need to show people that come to your website that you are an expert, that they can trust you, and that you have your site has authority. Otherwise, why would they buy from you? When there are so many websites out there and so many companies out there, why should they trust you? And Jason and I just had that conversation today with a potential vendor. I didn't see any reviews on their about their site, good or bad, about their company or on their website, and I was a little hesitant about determining whether or not we should go with them. And that's what happens every day when businesses and consumers look at website results and look at you specifically. So basically what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take a look at what reviewers look like at and when they are looking at the EAT aspects of a website. So first thing that they look at is expertise. And expertise is how the page itself displays and that the author of the page displays expertise. So they also look at authoritativeness. They look at both the page that is in like what page is showing up on the results, but also the domain itself. So you need to make sure that the company and the domain have notability, relatedness, and reputation. So what that means is the company itself notable? Are they known for being experts in the area that these people are searching for? Do they have a good reputation? Do they have a bad reputation? Has the company won awards? How does the domain appear to viewers? Is it something that looks like they could trust? And relatedness. So both the page that's being presented in the search results and the website itself need to relate to what is being typed in the search. And then finally, there's trustworthiness for both the page and the domain again. The humans look at reviews. They look at the type of information on the page, and they look at the domain's reputation. So if you have Google reviews, if you have reviews on Facebook or another site, if you have reviews on your website, these human reviewers look at all of that when they are considering the trustworthiness of the page itself and the domain for those results. So when you're looking at including EAT elements on your website, there's some different areas that you need to take a look at. One of the things that you want to do when you're doing a audit for EAT related items is you want to determine how transparent are you with customers. Are you responding to all positive and negative reviews? A lot of businesses like to shy away from negative reviews or just make them go away. And when they do that, what that actually is doing is hurting you for a couple of reasons. Yes, if there are more negative reviews than there are positive reviews, that does make a company look bad. However, it also has a more realistic view if you see positive and negative reviews on a website or on Google or somewhere else, because they just make it seem like that means that if there's positive and negative and you've left the negative up there, then these aren't faked reviews. So it makes it look more real. What's more important than the existence of negative reviews is how you handle them. What policies are listed on your website? Do you explain the process for getting refunds? Are you transparent on how you handle customer service issues? Are you transparent on the policies of the information that you collect? Now, some of that stuff is, a part of different laws that you need to have on there, but there are other things that are optional. The more that you have about your policies and the way that you do business on your website, the more comfortable people are going to be, and the more transparent you're going to be, and the more authoritative you look. Is your website secure to protect end users' data and confidential information? Do you have the HTTPS, the security certificate, or is it just a regular HTTP and people are taking chances when they go to your website? So for overall website, you want to tell users who you are. You want to make sure you have website security. You want to update the site regularly. You want to link to high quality sources. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later on when we're talking about blog posts. And you want to reconsider the definition of optimization. You don't want to just optimize, say, okay, these are the keywords we're trying to rank for. Are we meeting that keyword ranking aspect of optimization on these specific web pages? Or are we going beyond that and really serving the users, giving them quality information that they can use? So on page aspects, and what I'm talking about is all pages, not just blogs, you want to look at the purpose of the page from a user's perspective, not keyword ranking. You want to consider multiple viewpoints and include that information, even if that might contradict what you believe, or you feel that if this viewpoint would contradict your service. So you also want to have expertise, and you want to explain information in a way that is clear, precise, and avoids jargon. Also, you want to make sure that the site presents trustworthiness by avoiding content that is misleading, deceptive, not just trying to go for the clickbait, but actually providing good, useful information. And then for blog specific tips, you want to post on a schedule that you can stick to. So that's a question that I get asked all the time. How many times a month should I post? And what I tell people is, if you know that you can provide one quality blog post every month, and you know you can do that consistently, then that's where you want to start. Don't say, okay, I'm going to post twice a week, if you know that that's just not going to happen, because then you'll do it. Sometimes you won't. You'll skip a few months, and people are going to start to expect a routine when it comes to blog posts on Facebook, videos. They're going to expect that if you say you're posting every week, or they see that you're consistently posting a blog post on Thursdays, and they get to your blog and it's Thursday and there's no post, then they're going to go away and they're never going to come back. You want to link to authoritative sources. I have heated discussions bordering on arguments with a lot of my clients for this one. They don't want to link to authoritative sources because they're afraid that if the person sees anybody else or goes anywhere else, they're going to lose them forever for the blog. You can have the link open into another window. It doesn't have to be that they're taking you away from the blog into another page. But what authoritative sources do is they prove that you know what you're talking about. They prove that you have an idea and that you understand what's going on in this particular space and this particular subject, and you're not just talking out your butt. You want to, whenever possible, work with experts to create content. And one of the reasons for this is it does lend authoritativeness. It does show that you're an expert in the field, because like tends to go to like. If you're an expert in your field, you're going to know other experts in the field. So that just goes to show that you are in that area and you're playing in that pool. You want to make the content skimmable. So you want to have headlines that tell good information and kind of continue the storyline from the top to the bottom. So that if people are just skimming the headlines of the blog post and don't read anything else, they at least have a good idea of what the post is about. You also want to make the first paragraph not just hook. They talk about hook, where you're going to hook people in to read the rest of it, but you also want them to explain very pointedly what the article is about, why they should care, and what you're going to talk about And then at the end, the concluding paragraph should summarize all of that information in a nice tight bow. When you talk about length, this isn't high school, okay? We're not going to say that you need to have a 1,000 word essay, double spaced, Times Roman, whatever. You need to fit the topic though. And I heard a lot of arguments against long blog posts. Long blog posts do have their place and they are actually good. It does help you rank because there's more information for the bots and the humans to look at to confirm that this is related to the topic. And it also shows authority and it gives you other content that you can use. You can break that long blog post up into other elements. You can do video posts or social media posts or whatever from one piece of content. But again, not high school. So don't stuff this with keywords. Don't just blah, blah, blah on for 20 minutes because you think you need to get to the 1,000-word mark. Make sure that you are addressing the topic. So some blog posts might be shorter, some might be longer. So how do you future-proof your business by focusing on the concept of EAT and building authority online and offline? So what that does is it helps improve, bottom line, your reputation. And reputation is everything. When your business has a good reputation, when things go wrong, like what happened over the last 2 years, a lot of that stuff was out of our control. People are going to be a little more forgiving because they know that you have a good reputation. You know you've done right by them before. They understand everything is going wrong and they're going to say, okay, you know what? He was a little late with this delivery, or this wasn't as perfect as I'm used to expecting with them. They're going to give you a break and they're still going to recommend you to others, even if they just had a less than stellar customer service experience with you. So even if EAT isn't the ultimate ranking factor for Google, focusing on those aspects do help with reputation management. It helps with increasing sales, and it does help to have a sustainable business. On your website, what you want to focus on is you want to do a regular audit for EAT. Make sure you're following those different guidelines. You want to review your backlinks, make sure they're authoritative, make sure they still work. Sometimes if you're linking to another site, they've moved that stuff. Make sure that spammy sites aren't backlinking to you, because even though they're doing it without your knowledge, it does affect the overall ranking of your site. You want to update your website on a regular basis. And yes, doing new blog posts does help with that, but you also want to go back and refresh the old blog post, refresh your homepage, go look at your service pages. Maybe some of that stuff needs to be updated. Look at your products page. So there are other aspects beyond just posting regular blogs that help to update your website on a regular basis so that they can see that you're meeting those EAT guidelines. You want to create a policies page and have the information that I talked about as far as customer service policies, refund policies, all that kind of information on that page, and make sure it's always up to date. There are, if you go online, there are free templates for all of that stuff that you can just use and modify and post. Make sure you have your contact information written everywhere. And I don't just mean your email address, info@triourmarketing.com or whatever. Make sure you have your phone number. Make sure that you have where you, if you're a brick and mortar business, make sure you actually have your address on your website. Install a chat bot so that people can talk to you in real time and ask you questions. Have a secure online payment portal. Stripe and PayPal are free. They charge you a transaction fee, but you can get them for free and they're secure. Have a membership site plugin installed so that if you offer services or there's information that people need to get a hold of that are like back-end information, that it's secure. Make sure that you have site structure plugins. I don't want to go too deep into this one because this is what we call in our company sausage. It's a little technicky and I don't really want to scare people away, but there are site structure ways to help design it to help make sure that it's following those guidelines. And those website plugins are free. And if you just go in and search on WordPress, you'll see them.
Wendy, I think we should probably explain why we call that stuff sausage.
I was just going to say, you want to say that? You want to talk about
Absolutely.
sausage?
So if you are like me, you like to eat sausage, but you don't care how the sausage is made. So I'm our sales arm and Wendy is our technical person. So sometimes she starts going into details on things and I'm like, I don't need to know how that's done on the backside of the website or etc. I just need to know that it works. So we call it sausage stuff. Like, oh, I don't need to know that because I don't need to know the back end.
So I'm not going to go too deep into sausage on any of these. Anybody that has sausage related questions, feel free to email us. Feel free to go to the website and discuss on our chat, and I'll be more than willing to help you out. But I'm not going to go into sausage stuff on these talks. So off website, you can implement social listening, which is just using free programs like Ask the Public to see what people are talking about your company and about your keywords to make sure that your reputation is good. Practice review management for your testimonials and your reviews online and offline. And when I'm talking about online and offline, I'm talking about on your website itself and off the website itself. That's just a term that has been so ingrained in my brain, I tend to use it without thinking about it. Implement Google Business Chat and phone. Google Business Profile has gone a long way to make things a lot easier so that you can install those things quickly and easily without a lot of hassle. Participate in forums and discussions. Do guest posting in moderation. Don't just go to any old guest place or blog site that'll have you. Do ones that show that you're an authority in your field. Do guest speaking on podcasts. There are a lot of podcasts that are just getting off the ground, but even established ones are always looking for people to fill that dead air. And if you show that you have the credentials and if you meet their requirements, they're more than willing to have you on, even if you're a small business. That's not what they care about. Any awards that you've either won or are being offered like in your local area that you think you qualify for, go for it because that works. That shows that you're not only authority, but you're also a good business. Those, local cheesy awards that they have. I mean, I know they seem silly, but every single one of them help. Any charity work that you guys love to do as a company, make sure people know about that. And working with other local businesses. Then you have another business that says, hey, yeah, I've worked with them all the time. They're great. Any of those things will help you. So next week, we're going to be talking about who are the people in your neighborhood. And that's about online community building. And that means a lot more than creating some kind of forum. There's a lot of different aspects on what an online community is and how you can have that work for you to expand your digital presence. And also that will help you with your company's reputation and getting more online sales. So we'll talk about that more next week, which is Thursday, March 10th already at 1 p.m. EST. So I've been rattling on here. I'm really thirsty. I'm going to take a drink of water. Are there any questions?
All right. Well, you take your drink of water, and I'll ramble on a little bit for no reason whatsoever, just so that you can take your drink of water. But no, we don't have any questions at this time. I did want to sing the "Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood" song, but that would be copyright infringement. So
yeah, don't give us copyright strikes. All right. Yeah, I know. The minute I thought about online community, that song came into my head. But also, so did the SNL skit. So that just shows where I come from. But anyway, we're new. I know we probably only have a couple of people that are paying attention to us right now, and that's fine. You got to start somewhere. I don't mind blathering on in basically dead internet space because these are being recorded. These are going to be going on to our website, so you can catch them on the website. I am going to be pinning them to our Facebook page. So you will be able to look at them later. So hopefully there's future people that I'm talking to right now, even though we may not have any current people. But when you're watching this and you do have any questions, or you want to learn more about us, or even just say hi. So what we're going to want to do is our website is tryourmarketingsolutions.com, and our email address is info@tryourmarketingsolutions.com. And no, they're not wrong.
Okay, well, we'll discuss that later.
But, oh yes, because it's just Try Our Marketing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Good job, Wendy.
All right, I remember the name of my website.
And your company. So yes, the company is Try Our Marketing Solutions, but our domain for everyone watching, all 5,000 of you who are watching this in the future, it's actually tryourmarketing.com and info@tryourmarketing.com.
But when I spoke about our website earlier, I did happen to mention that. But yeah, you know, I'm just so used to saying Try Our Marketing Solutions that I think my fingers just took over when I was writing the slide. So I'm gonna have to fix that.
That happens to me too.
So on that wonderful note, I'm going to stop sharing and show you guys all my embarrassed red face here for a sec. And yay! And wave goodbye to everybody that's in the future, hopefully watching this. And we will speak to you all soon and try to make today better than yesterday. Bye.
Bye.